Have you ever wondered what a breeze is? A purple-blue mob of small stature surrounded by constant wind currents, hostile to the player, launching aerial projectiles that cause damage to us. The breeze was added to Minecraft very recently, but we can already say with certainty how this mob appeared. Despite the fact that each mob is a separate entity, we can say for sure that, for example, the Iron Golem was created by villagers to protect the village. This is a well-known fact. But did someone create a breeze? Today we are going to analyze the history of the appearance of this mob based on the plot of Minecraft. After all, the breeze is very well integrated into the lore of Minecraft, even if you don't realize it right now. There are dozens of clues in the game itself, and by paying attention to these details, you can find the true creator of the breeze. Sit back, Makis is with you, and we'll start the Minecraft theory. We have never considered the characteristics of the breeze, but few people know that it has 1.5 times more health than a player, up to 15 hearts against our 10. Despite the fact that the breeze's attacks are extremely weak, the only danger that the breeze creates is to throw the player somewhere where he will receive damage from falling, or push the character under a stronger and more dangerous mob. In addition to the fact that the names overlap, breeze and blaze, the drop is now similar but with a different color scheme. The breeze stem can be broken down into wind projectiles, thanks to which you can bounce up or jump sharply sideways. As you can see, these rods rotate inside your body. They are hidden behind the wind currents. There are 3 of them. By the way, if you speed it up, then it's right on the blades of the plane. This is very similar to Blaze, which has fire rods spinning around it and also falling out. About the same number of rods. If an Ifrit's fire rod can be crushed into a fiery powder, then the breeze's rod is more like a flask containing air projectiles. The other one I don't see an explanation for here. It's unlikely that air can be compressed into a solid object. Piques the player's interest in its appearance. The breeze only spawns from spawners and only in a specific dungeon, which raises doubts. Is it really that? Has someone created a mob? Maybe it is not a completely independent mob. Now we will find out. The comparison between Blaze and Breeze is the easiest to understand. Each of these mobs appears from spawners. The fiery Ifrit is tied to the fortress, appearing from special towers in the form of projections from the infernal fortress. Yes, Ifrits can just walk around the fortress, but they only appear there, which clearly tells us that an Ifrit is a defender of the infernal fortress, created and used only there. It's the same with Breeze, but they don't wander around the testing palace on their own. The building itself looks abandoned and empty. But as soon as someone alive appears there, the mechanism starts the game, and mobs are created from spawners to test the player's skills. Blaze and Breeze are so similar that they can be considered elemental. Blaze is the elemental of fire, and Breeze is the elemental of air. I think it's hard to argue with that. In order to understand who created the air elemental and why, we need to look under every stone in the test rooms. Where there is a breeze, a tough stone will be used, depicting wind currents. There will be lily pads in the corridors of the palace, which will display 3 new images. These are the axe, the breeze pattern, and the wind currents. Before that, there were just plain lily pads with no designs in the trial chambers. It's gotten much better with the release of new versions, and we see the developers giving us hints. You may notice that the axe pattern stands out from the crowd. Here's the breeze itself, and here's the wind, which is also associated with the breeze. And here's the axe, but later you'll realize that this is one of the key clues. For now, just remember that the image of an axe appears on the pots. There are also 2 new armor templates for the trial chambers. One of them is a whirlwind. It's even depicted on it. And finally, 2 new patterns for drawing on flags appear immediately. The first pattern is a breeze. The second pattern is wind currents, almost the same as on the lily pads. Perhaps you can tell me what these clues, all these symbols of the breeze, give us. Can they really help us find the creator of the breeze? The answer is yes, they can. The only mob that has anything to do with the wind in Minecraft is called Windcaller. It belongs to the general army of marauders, and it is taken from Minecraft dungeons. In the original Minecraft, it doesn't have it, but I'm grateful to the mod that transfers it to regular Minecraft in an exact copy. Notice the cloak on the mob Windcaller. Yes, this is the same icon that appears everywhere in the trial chambers. In Minecraft, Dungeon's master like Elijah uses his staff to create pillars of wind that lift the player up and then cause damage to the ground. An airstrike pushes the player away, again taking lives. Since both Minecraft Dungeons and Minecraft Game exist in the same game universe, I think there's reason to believe that the wind caller from Minecraft Dungeons could be the creator of Breeze. And although it's not directly in Minecraft, I'll explain why. Look at Breeze's face. In addition to the eyes, the eyebrows are very prominent. This mob has no mouth, no nose. The emphasis is on the eyes with eyebrows. It is the eyebrows that absolutely match the eyebrows of the other pillagers. I think in this case, you don't need to prove anything. Considering that pillagers are able to summon mobs, how does it successfully do this? Windcaller creates vexers around him that also have evil eyebrows. With the textures that the vex used to have, it was more obvious. Another Breeze is being attacked by an iron golem, which means that the golem initially sees the Breeze as an enemy of the village. This is true of most hostile mobs, but still an interesting fact. Based on all of the above, we can safely assume that the Breeze is an air elemental created by the Windcallers. He also created a summoned being out of thin air. Also, Breeze only appears in trial chambers, which makes him more of an artificially created mob than an independent free one. Right now, if I put this pot in front of you and told you that one of the 3 intelligent civilizations in Minecraft created this drawing, your choice would definitely fall on Pillager. The axe is the main weapon of the Vindicators. Most melee warriors in Minecraft dungeons also have it, and it is needed to remove rust from the copper that the palace is made of. It's just a bunch of facts converging on a Pillager, and there are just too many clues about them in this dungeon. Why was the Breeze created? What is its purpose, and why did it end up in a spawner? Trial chambers are not easy to name. They are filled with mechanisms that train dodging reactions, combat skills, and so on. It's easy for us to explain why we need these rooms, because we know their creators. They were built by pillagers for training. This is, after all, a warring faction that thrives on war, village raids, and looting. These trial chambers are the perfect place for soldiers to train. By the way, I noticed this while making the game. Trial chambers often have rooms with access to an observation post, often surrounded by a copper mesh. I'm assuming that someone higher up in the pillagers stood here and watched him train the soldiers, and the grate was needed to see what was going on and be safe at the same time. The spawners are in certain places, and they periodically summon the right mobs. One of those mobs is Breeze. And I think this mob was created by the Elijahs so that Pillager and Vindicators others could train with them at the same time so that the Breeze could not do much damage to them. A training scarecrow should hit back but not cause too much pain. After all, fighters need to train, not get seriously injured while training. This explains the very small damage of the Breeze. Only half of the heart is taken away by the wind projectile. He's not dangerous, but he's good for training. But only the Wind faction uses training scarecrows. They use battle training rings, so the Breeze is nothing more than an air elemental created by pillagers, artificially designed for training only inside trial chambers. That's why you won't find a Breeze anywhere else in the world. This video has come to an end. Subscribe to the channel because there are a lot of interesting things about Minecraft. Now, right, maybe you have your own theories about the Breeze? And I'm saying goodbye to you, bye to everyone.